welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about blood sugar, carbs, best time of the day to eat it, whether you're focusing on performance or physique. So let's jump on it. So first thing, what I want to do is break down blood sugar. What does it mean? What does it look like? Because if you don't know the fundamentals, you're not going to know the more complex parts of it. So we're going to have a little science lesson. Your blood sugar is pretty low first thing in the morning. When you eat foods, especially rich in carbs, toast, oatmeal, acai bowls, honey, that's gonna spike the blood sugar in the system. Sugar in the bloodstream for a long period of time can become toxic and literally kill you. So your body secretes insulin. What insulin does is it opens up the cells, grabs the sugar, puts it inside the cells, and is able to be shuttled and used for energy. The problem is if you're not producing enough insulin or insulin at all, those cells aren't opening up, sugar builds up in the bloodstream, very dangerous and can eventually be toxic. So that's why people end up getting on metformin or any other medication. Now, blood sugar and weight gain are very much correlated. Insulin helps store excess energy into fat. So if you are having an abundant amount of energy in the body and it's not being utilized through exercise or just general body functions, it's going to be stored as fat. So insulin grabs onto that and stores it. So the higher your blood sugar and it's staying high, it's not being utilized, that'll turn into excess fat. So making sure that we moderate our levels of blood sugar is really important. So one analogy that I like to explain that really helps understand the bigger, I want you to think of a trip to the movie theaters. You go into the movie theaters, it's dark inside, you watch your movie, you come outside and that light is like shocking to the system. You know, you adjust over time, but it's still pretty bright light. Now let's imagine you played hooky one day and you went into the movie theater and you stayed for the next movie and another movie and went over to another movie. You're in the movie theater for quite some time. So when you finally come out, that's going to be so shocking to the body. But if you go in the movie theater and you stay for 1 or 2 or 3 movies, but you step outside to bring in the sunlight, and finally you come back out, it's not going to be as shocking to the system because you've slowly introduced the sunlight in so that it's not as shocking to the system. The reason I'm referring this is I want you to think of breakfast. So first of all, you're going to break up those terminologies. Break, fast. So you're breaking your fast over the nighttime. So your last meal, let's say it was at 9 p.m. That's the last meal you had. You're fasting then again till 8 a.m. So that's the fast. When you are breaking it and it's a carb heavy breakfast, you're going from the dark movie theater to pitch sunlight very extremely. Whereas if you had the dark movie theater and then you got little bits of light and little bits of light and then maybe a bigger light later in the day, your body can handle it and process it easier. So to turn that into the food analogy, when you're fasting a long period of time and you have a big heavy carb meal in the beginning, it's very shocking on the system. Not only does it increase the amount of insulin needed in your body, it increases your blood sugar and possibly could lead to excess fat storage. So something that might be more recommended when you go through that fast is your first meal, have something closer to fat and protein. Next meal, introduce a little bit more carbs. Next meal, introduce a little bit more carbs. And if you want a carb heavy meal, either have it in the evening or catered around your workout, which we will get to. But I just want to reiterate that in the morning, that first meal, ideally it's best to have a lower carb. Now, depending on if you're doing this for physique or performance, that will change. But for the majority of you, having a lower carb breakfast is gonna feel best with your body. You're gonna have more energy, you're gonna feel more alert, you're gonna notice less brain fog, and your next meal and the further ones out can have a little bit extra carbs added to it. So this takes me to those 2 components, physique or performance. So if you're doing this strictly for physique, I would highly recommend doing the lower carb breakfast and then maybe adding on additional ones. Examples of a lower carb breakfast: eggs with avocado and a little bit of salsa in there. You could do some feta cheese. You could do the egg muffins. You could do a yogurt bowl with a little bit of granola. Sometimes they're higher fat than they are carbs. And then add a drizzle of almond butter. You could do protein pancakes or protein waffles. So just a few options for you as far as a lower carb breakfast. Now, if you're doing this for performance, then you don't really need to follow along with this carb guidance. Generally, you're consuming the carbs to fuel your workouts, and there's nothing wrong with the blood sugar or the carb intake because you are utilizing that energy. It's not just gonna sit there and be stored. So for those performance individuals, there shouldn't be an issue with having the carbs before your workout. Now, another thing that you can introduce is if you're strictly doing this for physique, you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to tone up, you can have carbs in your meals. What you should do is actually put them in front of your workout or behind your workout, because your body will burn through that extra blood sugar and your body's gonna have room for it so that it's not stored as fat. So if you're about to do a workout, have your carbs right before or right after. You're gonna notice a really good benefit. Now, if you're really craving carbs and you're also working on your physique, this is one of my favorite recipes that I do. I call it a berry bowl. What it is you do a bowl. I put almond milk, but you can do your choice of yogurt, frozen berries.
Frozen is the key.
There's something about that texture and the coldness that feels so good. I also love the ones with frozen cherries added. That's my favorite. An extra little treat. So you do the frozen berries in there. Sometimes I'll chop up and put a frozen banana in. Drizzle of almond butter. If you're feeling a little extra sassy, you can add a drizzle of honey. I tend to do that after a hard workout or if I just got out of the sauna, just to replenish and give my blood sugar a little bit of a boost because I naturally am lower. But it's one of my favorite things. I have it at least once a day. Satisfies that need for sweetness, but it's not going too carb heavy. Here it is, my berry bowl. So I do almond milk, collagen peptides. It happens to be a chocolate flavor. I do frozen berries. I usually, depending on if I'm working out or just finished working out, I'll do like a half a frozen banana, but the ones I had weren't done or frozen enough. And then I do a little bit of almond butter, and I do about a third or a half of a protein bar that I just slice up with kitchen scissors. By the way, if you don't have kitchen scissors, you should totally get them. They're amazing. You could use it for chicken, for lettuce, for everything. They're brilliant, especially if you don't want to pull out a cutting board. On occasion, if I feel like my blood sugar's low, I'll drizzle honey on there. Hey guys, I'm just jumping on my bike right now, and I wanted to mention something real quick. There are studies that show when you move your body for 15 minutes after you eat, it'll actually help lower your blood sugar faster. So I'd highly recommend, it doesn't have to be anything long. It could be a little bit of a walk, a bike ride, even doing some squats in the house. Your body will notice a difference. It'll be able to utilize some of that extra sugar in the body. I hope that cleared up a little bit of the questions and concerns about blood sugar, when you should eat them, whether you're focusing on physique or performance. Let me know in the comments below what you'd like me to make a video of, if there's any specific topics or conversations that you have questions about. All right, guys, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye.